Yeah, I think
Yep.
because your story isn't dissimilar to 80% of my previous guests.
Hmm.
Um, I don't think anyone who watches here would they'll be like, wow, the stuff was happening to everyone. I
Hmm.
guess for myself, I mean, the question was finding out was individually it was a challenge, but then collectively, these four kids who were friends and family friends. Does anyone point the finger at each other, or does it seem as if, man, I would have wanted to do this, or are you guys united in the disappointment, but united with we still want to sing and we'll make it. So what's the feeling like when Sunny Days isn't really making it and you're not getting the sort of the support again and feeling like deja vu?
Yeah.
Mm.
Um, well, I mean, it's no secret that we're now a trio and one
You're
of the
right.
members is gone. But like we always say, and we've always said it from the beginning of our careers, no one in this group can be replaced. So that's why we never said we could easily got a fourth girl, but we didn't because no one in this group can be replaced. But during that time, that's why I said earlier, internally we were going through things.
Mhm.
And
Right.
now being older and you think about things and things that were said or maybe how things were done, and you have to go, I don't know, I know how I was dealing with the heartbreak, as Sissy said, about everything that was going wrong. So maybe the other girl, her dealing with it made her do what she did. You know what I mean? Not that
Right.
it makes
Yeah.
it right, not that it makes it okay. It still was a heartbreak because again, we grew up together. So for that change and for it to feel like, oh, you don't want to do this with us anymore, like you think you better off on your own kind of way, like it was a
Right.
hurtful feeling. So we're going through breakup with labels. One of us
And
wants to
now
do
internal.
our own thing because I'm popping like that. And it's like, I believe people were in the ear and people were in all of our ears. You know what I'm saying? But we were
Hmm.
always strong and we were always united, even in our mess ups. That's one thing. My mom would always say that. She was like, even when y'all mess up, y'all were always together. Like, no matter what, y'all were
Yep.
united. And then when it
Yeah.
started feeling like we're not united, that was hurtful too. Because again, we weren't a put together group. We're not like girls that they found at the talent show and was like, hey, y'all
Mhm.
gonna sing. We grew up. So
Right.
that's a sister that is like, now you're not our sister anymore. And it hurts. So we had to deal with that. We had to deal with not knowing if we were going to get signed to another label. So we're going through all those things. And it's just, Akisa, even though her baby was our baby, even though the baby's a little older, but she has a kid, we're all trying to figure out how we're going to take this. We got to take care of our family. Like, how are we going
Right.
to do this? So it was so many things we were dealing with. And yeah, were we going at each other? Absolutely. But
Oh yeah.
we're sisters, so we do that. Like, I mean, we do that now. So it's like we'll argue, fight, but it's a sister thing. It's not a it's over thing, like detriment, like you got to worry about those kind of things. But it was a
Right.
lot that we were dealing with the Sunny Days album. That was like, I feel that was like the what do you say, like the breaking point of,
Hmm.
I don't know if I want to do this anymore,
Anymore.
because
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that hurt in itself to even think that something that we love so much, it was feeling like, I don't want this.
I don't want this
I don't
anymore.
want this.
Right.
It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
So why is an album called Sunny Days that's bringing heartache and dark days? I'm trying to
Is it?
understand.
Isn't that
Well,
crazy?
at the
Isn't that
time,
crazy?
it was funny.
It
It was,
felt
we were
bright.
feeling
It
like,
felt
it
sunny and
felt like
bright.
things were getting better. Yeah, and then it was like, it was time to start promoting, it was doom and
Hmm.
gloom. It was gloomy day. It was very gray. It was very gray.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, because
Jeez.
I think you've reflected that maybe when is it Lenny,
Yes. Hmm.
Yes.
when she decided to move on, that on reflection, how you guys were all feeling at the time, you probably, and it's hard in hindsight. Nobody, it's
Hmm.
like somebody telling me that if an intruder comes into my house and I get a gun and shoots and did I think it was actually my neighbor trying to get ax, to check in if we're all right, but you
Hmm.
don't know what you do when you're in that situation until you're in that situation. So it's easy
Right.
for people from the outside to judge.
Hmm.
And that's why I like the fact that you can reflect at this stage of your life and
Hmm.
career and think back
Hmm.
at 20 odd
Hmm.
years later and think, actually, maybe we were a little we didn't communicate better, or maybe we didn't get the support we needed and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
As a group, when there was the four of you, do you think on reflection that there was anything that could have been done to keep the four of you despite all that was happening, reflecting, looking back 20 years down, just looking back?
Yeah, I can tell you a therapist because you stirring up feelings, Nancy.
Yeah, because I'm like, you ain't about to make me cry. Because let me tell you something,
for real.
sir. You know,
it may happen, sir.
I know.
I think if I can answer as honestly as I possibly can, in a real world, in a perfect world, if the feelings were what we all thought, like we said, we had a sisterhood. You know what I mean? And when you have something as strong as a sisterhood, you think about your own siblings, you think about your own family. You never think family would do you like that. And family be the first ones. You always say, oh, they would never. And they never, and like they never before. So I personally have always learned to not put anything past anybody, right? But in that situation, it was harder because, like Sissy said earlier, like, we did everything together. We were always together. We grew up together. We went through everything, puberty, love, first loves and all these things. So when you find yourself now in this position to say that you're looking at somebody and you don't even recognize them and you don't know who they are because you're not in the same place that you were before. Like everything, we used to always bring it to the forefront and say, okay, this is what it is. Like Aaliyah said earlier, we would always hold each other accountable for everything, whether right, wrong, or indifferent. You got to stop doing this. You got to do more of this and that. We always held Aaliyah more than anybody because the rest of us, we were like bad, like baby's kids sometimes. You know what I mean? But seriously speaking, everybody had their individual purpose. I should say, in this group. And even when it was in disarray, it still worked. You get what I mean?
Not the fireworks. What's going on? I'm sorry. You got fireworks coming out.
It's my peach. It's my peach. I'm not getting my heart. Oh, there you go. I love you. I see.
Okay.
So like I said, even at those moments where we would agree to disagree or not agree at all, there was always just that one thing with us. So when we got to a point where it was like, wow, like the thing is just done, and not with the rest of us, but to even get to a point to say goodbye to somebody like that, and then look at them and they're not even caring about fixing it. It's just, oh, well, that's how you feel, huh? That kind of attitude. And it's like, you know what I mean? And again,
we've been through too much together.
We've been through way too much together, right? For you to just simply just throw your hands up and walk away and not feel any remorse about anything. It's insane to me. It's even to this day thinking about the time when I even got in an argument with the other two girls because I wanted to secretly get everybody back together to talk and all these things. And it's like, I did all that. It's like the TikTok now. Did all that for nothing, because the person simply just didn't care anymore. It was at a point where, like Aaliyah said earlier, it was more about what you wanted and not about what we wanted. We always said, let's elevate together. Let's succeed together. If we're going to get to the Grammy or whatever the goal was, let's do it together. And that wasn't allowed to happen. And it was a very selfish and one-sided thing. So after a while, that was literally like one of the first teachings of, you really can't trust everybody. You can't, no matter how much you love this person or whatever the case may be. There's certain lines that you just don't cross, certain boundaries that you have to have. There's certain respect, girl code, whatever you want to call it. You just don't do it. You just don't do it. And it just blew up in our faces and we weren't ready for it, And even to this day, sometimes we talk about it and we can laugh about certain things, but that was a painful moment for us, for real. Like, very, very painful.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. I begin to